I am working a sleeve cap on a test knit that I'm doing, so I'm not going to be able to show you any more of it than this sleeve cap because this one's a secret. Remember, I am a mirror knitter, so this is a short row sleeve cap that I am doing here, and I am working my knit row actually. But you see here I am knitting in the back loop as I knit back, and reason for that is I'm going to show you this really great trick that I learned just because I got tired of turning the entire piece around. This is a very large piece, I will say that, and having to turn it after, working just like 60 stitches or so at the most for each row, it became very cumbersome, and it was just taking more time than I wanted to. So in my impatience, I discovered this trick. See, this is my beginning of round. This is actually a really neat sleeve cap to do. A short row one, I encourage you to go ahead and give it a try. Be patient with yourself on the first one. It does take a little bit of mental thinking through because there's a little bit of a block there because you're working past the beginning of round stitch marker each time, but it comes out really neat. I'm just going to finish working to the end of the row here. Like I said, I am working in the back loop. I'm going to show you why in just a second. Okay, so this is my wrapped stitch from the last one. My instructions are to knit it without picking up the wrap. That one does not need to be done in the back loop. Because, okay, and then I wrap the next stitch. Because that one is sitting on there properly. Wrap and turn. Well, instead of turning my piece, I am now going to go into the back of the loop, and I'm going to pull the yarn through and take the stitch off as if I were purling on the wrong side. But I'm doing this, I don't know if this is a combination knitter thing or what. And it actually made my gauge better and more even. I will show before and after pictures of that on the other sleeve cap that I did. So the reason I had to work them in the back loop is because I am technically yarning around the needle the wrong way. But that is because for me, it is too slow to do it the correct way, hold on to it, and bring it through. See, it's twisted correctly, so when I come back, I would go into the front there and it would be correct. But I'm going into the back, going around the wrong way. So I have to go into the back so that the stitches are correct and not twisted. But yeah, that's just a little trick. If you can train your hands to think that other direction instead of turning your work, to knit it back through the back loop as if you were purling, basically. If you were sitting on the other side of this piece as you're working it, it would look like you were purling, but you're not. Not physically, anyway. And I don't know that it's a whole lot faster for me than the turning, but I like it better. And I like the way it looks much better. So here's that before and after shot. You see the difference there? It's a lot nicer. It's a lot more even. It's a lot smoother. You can't tell, oh, she did something different here. Not sure what it was, because my Purl rows show they don't. Almost finished with this row. I'll show you what the end of it looks like. And there's my wrapped stitch. This one I still go on the back loop because it's a purl row. And I know you see me untwisting these stitches each time I pick them up. They are my picked up stitches from the beginning of when I picked up around the armhole. And it's because the way I pick up, they're twisted, so I always have to untwist them. And now I'm just going to knit back. Right past those stitch markers, back to that last wrap stitch, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I didn't have to turn my work one time, and this is the third row you're seeing me work on. And another thing that I've learned with knitting back in the opposite direction is it makes baubles easier to do, so much nicer. This is a decently large piece I'm working on size 8 needles. These are the indigo from Leica, and I'm working with worsted weight yarn. The pattern is called the Orange Love Poncho from Gay Glasspie and Amy Gunderson. And I'm actually doing this for the Gigi Loves Orange Knit Along. Alright, so this stitch is going to be a bauble. Remember, mirror knitter. Okay, so I have 5 stitches in the one. Then you're supposed to turn the work and purl back. But instead, I'm just going to knit back. And yes, I'm yarning over the correct way this time, because having twisted stitches made it very difficult to work the bauble correctly. And now I get to just keep working back without turning, which is really nice for a bauble. And these 3 are knit together, out splitting the yarn preferably, and these 2 are passed over. What I really liked is it had us wrap the bauble a couple of times. I just made it sit really nice. Alright, I'll knit a couple stitches, and then I'll show you that bauble one more time. Alright, so I work my 5 stitches in 1, 3, 4, and 5. Now without turning, this is as if I was purling back. Let's try that again. And there's the bauble. Be sure and shove it to the front before you continue knitting so that it's on the correct side of your work. And then this is what they look like. Got all kinds of them here. I really encourage you to pick up this pattern. It is a paid-for pattern, but it has been worth it. It's been a very fun knit so far, and I cannot wait to finish it. So that is how I am now working my baubles without having to turn my big long piece every time I need to go and do the purl back stitches. I hope you found that helpful and that you'll give it a try. Be patient with yourself. Trying to teach that opposite hand to do something new, because it will take a little bit of time and it may mess with your gauge a little bit too. So you might want to do a swatch to practice with, and I will put a swatch up on the blog actually if you want to go there. So I will put the link to my blog here at in the last slide so that you can copy that and go to it, and there will be a page called Short Row Swatch No Turning. Alright, thank you for watching. Happy making. This has been Azariah Studio.